Whoa! Who needs a downhill bike anyway? There we go. Welcome back to a new episode, guys. This one's really exciting because I just finished building up my brand new Marin San Quentin hardtail, this sick little trail hardtail right here. This bike is so much fun. I got my first one back in I want to say 2018. I was blown away by how much different terrain I could ride on it, like steep rocky tech because it's got really slack geometry, but it also jumps quite well, surprisingly, climbs very decently, and it's just a really fun, playful bike overall. And all right, let's take a look at it and see what I got built up on here. So one of my #1 sponsors is Shimano, and I do have an XT group set on there, including the wheels. So we're going with the drivetrain, the brakes, the wheel set. It's pretty sick. And on the wheels, I'm running the Hutchinson Griffiths tires. These tires have really impressed me over the last year. I've been only riding for this brand for about 1 season now, and yeah, I'm genuinely really impressed with just the tread design, the compound, everything about these tires is really great. All right, and then jumping into the other components. Suspension, SR Suntour. I'm running the new Orin EQ fork. The new dampening system in these new forks is quite impressive. I feel like Suntour doesn't get a good enough reputation for how great of a product they make. And I'm genuinely, again, really impressed with their suspension. It's been great to ride for them. And components, I'm running P&W components in the cockpit. So I got the range handlebar and stem with the loam lever, the loam grips, and then over to the loam dropper post. And then a few final little bits. I'm running the Chromag saddle and pedals. I was sponsored by Chromag back in 2011, I want to say, all the way through to 2014. Love their stuff and still do. I always buy a few little bits here and there when I can for my bikes, especially their saddles. I really love their saddles. And that is the bike. Really nice, clean build. I'm really excited. And today I have a lot planned. I'm pretty pumped. What we're gonna do is head back up to Moon Boot. That is my GoPro best line winning trail. And we're gonna session that, see how it handles the bigger hits, do some downhill shuttles, and then head over to the airbag and see what kind of tricks I can toss on this thing. All right, let's get out there. Okay. Oh! Step up is just as smooth. It's not the step down, man. That is way more intense. I've never been that nervous on that before.
I heard a little shout.
Yeah, I got pretty sideways on it. I don't know if Ken caught that, but I got pretty sideways, and I'm I better be going into that slippery ridge straight on. So this isn't, that's everyone's fear the first time they come here, is missing that wood or slipping out on that wood. That's my first time feeling that fear. Wow, gnarly. Oh, that's so fun. Oh man, I'm used to the bigger, heavier bike. This thing whips around like nothing. That's amazing. It's my bike's so much lighter than my other bikes that it just whips around like nothing. And it's still really stable. The geometry of this frame with the slack angles makes everything so stable. I can tell already, riding the airbag or steeper ramps, it's not going to be quite as maneuverable on rotational tricks like flips and 360s. But when it comes to staying stable in terrain like this, it's unreal. It feels no less stable than my 160 mil 29er, or I guess 150 mil 29er with a 170 mil fork. And that's a way bigger bike than this. So that's really cool. That opens up some opportunity to ride some pretty gnarly stuff on a really small bike. was just gonna do like a straight roll up to take off, but I forgot how fast you come into this, so that's not even possible.
Just end up booting it.
I'm just gonna roll up it and see how the compression feels on this bike. Okay, a bit of self-talk here. Whenever I brake check before the step up on a bigger bike, I always case. When I brake check on the hardtail, I hit it perfectly. And the very last booter on the line is always an overshoot no matter what bike I'm on. So I have to remember, give it a solid brake grab, remember that jump has a good case pad, and just commit to the curve on the takeoff. It's gonna come up quick, but the bike's gonna handle it really nicely. Okay, let's drop in. Oh yeah. I just had to go way slower, and I feel like I can't boost it the same way because it's not going to be nearly as smooth. But that was my first time hitting it, so let's give it a few more runs and see how we can feel this out. So sick. Oh, it kicks me a lot. Jeez. I gotta do something about that lip. That's it for this jump line today. We're gonna call it a day out here. And I've been saying this forever, but I really need to change this takeoff. It is so sudden. I was trying to feel it out those last couple hits as I was whipping, imagining doing different tricks like no-footed cans, Supermans, anything that allows me to like really pop and throw myself off the bike. And if you notice, when I'm bringing those whips in, I'm really tucked last minute and snapping it because it's starting to nosedive me really bad. And if you look at it up close here, it's a really harsh compression. Like it goes from dirt to wood really suddenly. And I feel like this whole space that I'm in right here needs to be like gradually mellowed out. And this curve needs to change. I think the radius is way too tight for how big of a sender this is. And that's gonna be my next project. Now that Sharknado is basically a wrap, we're gonna come back here and we're gonna fine tune this line and make it better than ever. Maybe add an extra hit, I don't know yet, but I wanna be able to throw more tricks on this, get more rowdy on it. It's gonna be a lot of fun on the San Quentin as soon as I can really fine tune things. So let's head up to the top of the other trail beside us, do a downhill lap and see how the bike handles steeper, rougher terrain. All right, we're chasing light here. It's gonna be dark in less than 2 hours. Let's punch out a lap and then rip over to the airbag for a quick session. All right. Oh yeah. This bike is a blast. I feel like I have the flickability of a dirt jump bike, but I can ride rough stuff like this. So cool. Oh. Oh. This part is gnarly here. Whoa! Who needs a downhill bike anyway? There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Whoa! Yeah! Oh, that is so good. Back into daylight. Oh, I rotated way too slow on that flip. Oh, I shinned myself. Oh, I really gotta yank that. Like more than my trail bike even, I don't know. Crazy. Oh, my dropper post went up. It's still went up. The thing with this bike is I'm finding it harder to really dip in off the takeoff, and when I lean forward I must be hitting the lever every time. That is gnarly. Okay, I think that is a sign to call it a day because things are getting a little out of hand. Not like a super sick session or anything, but good first ride on the San Quentin. That was super fun today. A little bummed I didn't commit to the bar spin, but it's also probably a good thing because I'm out of practice. I haven't thrown that trick in months, and it's way harder on this bike than my dirt jump bike. So I think we have to come back to the bag another day, maybe with both bikes, get it dialed in on the dirt jump bike first, and then get redemption on the San Quentin. This bike is so much fun. Stay tuned for part 2 on the San Quentin. We're gonna get even rowdier on this thing in the next video on it, and hopefully I get some practice and I start to dial some stuff in. Okay, that's it for the video. Thanks so much for watching. You guys are the best. See you in the next one. See you later.